Yeah. 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 So many lies that you hear from the net, they don't get her respect. She reporting the truth, not a check. You want an unbiased opinion straight from the chest, not a bit of complice or someone here for a check. Tune in, these are thoughts from a lawyer on a mission who goes so hard it's like she works on commission. Trolls in the comments might say she tripping cause they lack the knowledge. They don't know they missing. Got a couple current events that you like. Wanna know about law from the eyes. Tired of all these blogs running lies because their agendas are disguised. Tune in to the intellect, cause I'm sure y'all missing all the facts of the case that she steady is gifting. Someone here for the people, man, it's so uplifting. If you ain't subscribed yet, then you just omitting facts.
Did you call Shirley and see what's going on with her? She's not picking that phone up. I answered the text, but something must be wrong with her. You hear me? Yeah. Okay. You good? Yeah, I'm good. You said you talked to her yesterday. I don't know why she ain't picking the phone up. Yeah, I don't know what she got going on. She thought she was outside yesterday when she called. Do I need to add some money on this phone? Yeah. Just send me the old girl. She'll set it up for you. Why she be acting cheap as hell? Man, come on now. What you mean, come on now? I sent her the money. Should be weird. Okay, sir. Yeah, just check on, see what's going on. Until I've been trying to text you and text her back or call. So I've been calling yesterday. She ain't answered the phone. I called today. She ain't answered. So something ain't right. She ain't got a phone or something.
Hello, everyone. My name is Pam Esquire, also known as Your Law Intellect. And let me reintroduce someone to you guys. This is Shirley. I ain't playing with you no more. Strawberry over here to the right, who will be the co-host on today because this live is about her. You guys make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I missed you guys. I have been super busy. You guys know I do practice. I understand that you guys are like, we're priority over here on YouTube, but you know, I gotta handle my business. So that is why I have not been on. However, I did notice that on yesterday there was a filing of divorce by Shirley Strawberry. I know that Bougie talked about it, and so did Grown Woman Vibes already, if I recall correctly. But yes, we do have the documents, and it is our plan to do what we do over here, and that is go over those documents and answer any questions that you guys have. So if you are new here, welcome. If you've been here and rocking with me for a minute, welcome back. Thank you guys so much for all of your support and all of the love and all of the where is Pam? You guys were like treating me like Waldo. Like, where is Pam? We have to find her. People started sending me cash apps, $5. Girl, go get you some coffee so you can go ahead and lift your spirits up and come back on live. But you guys knew when I saw this filing, you guys didn't have to worry or wait anymore that I was going to stop in the middle of whatever I was doing. And myself and my co-host, Miss Shirley, I ain't playing with you, Ernest no more, is going to go over this here complaint for divorce. My. Many people are saying that it's a long time coming. But you know, you do it at your own time. I think that, and I can't confirm this, but we do know that the prosecutor has said that the cases, all of the cases that are open on her estranged husband, Ernest Williams, soon to be ex-husband, Ernest Williams, will be going before the grand jury soon. So we can kind of deduce that that's around the corner, because today is already the 18th. So maybe she said, well, let me get in where I fit in before all of this goes down. Plus, she had to watch all of this foolishness between these two. You know, she watched, I'm sure somebody told her, even if she has not watched it, somebody has probably advised her of all of this that's going on the internet and the conversations that he's had with this lady and all of that. So, you know, I'm not going to try to speculate as to the reasons why. Well, I guess I just did speculate, huh? kind of contradictory. But we don't really know the reason why. Maybe she was just tired of being sick and tired and she wanted to get it over with. So, you guys, I want you to go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe. I see you guys are already at it. KB, thank you for becoming a member over here. We appreciate it and we are glad that you have joined our legal community. You guys seen that there were conversations in those phone calls. Shout out to phone calls from prison, of which we learned that there was a time where Shirley was not taking any more phone calls. We also know when the phone call came out related to Steve Harvey, Shirley defined her relationship with Ernest Williams as her estranged husband. And it does appear that that's exactly what it was based on this complaint, if we are to take it for what it is. So we are going to get right into this. Let me see. I see you guys. I see all the strawberries. You guys are like, shout out to Shirley. She said she gonna do it in her own timing. You said we missed you. Pull up, P. Thank you, cupcakes. I appreciate the love. I miss you guys too. Yes, make sure you hit the like button. It's over 1,000 of you guys in here, ready to hear what Pam Esquire, the law intellect, has to say. Sean D said, I'm so glad she's moving on. What an embarrassment he is. A pimp named Nasty Nesto said, I'm sure Sonia is throwing a countdown till the divorce is official. You said, how can we send divorce gifts to Shirley? We love you. That's what Truckerette said. And honestly, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, can we like send a couple of dollars to the attorney or something to help her out just to make sure that this thing, gets to pushing faster? But because it's just been filed yesterday, unless he was given the heads up or a courtesy copy of the complaint, what we call them, he may not even know about it yet because it was literally just filed. Sonia's hairline says, so glad to be here. Love how you break it down. Thank you for your support. I appreciate that. We also have some cash apps over here. You guys are just spoiling your girl. Maybe I should stay gone a little bit more often. No. Patty said, let me see those nails. There you go. You are very petty. You really are. RJ, this is so kind of you. Thank you for the super chat. It's very generous. You don't have to give, but I appreciate that you did. You said running security for my favorite content creators, Pam Esquire, GWV, Bougie Gang, and PCFP. That's it. That's all. Thank you, RJ. That was so kind of you. Simply Peaches. Thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate that. So I know some of you guys are on lunch. We've already, talked for about 8 minutes. So I'm going to try to get through this so that I can go through and answer any questions. Y'all, let me get into it. I see you guys already. Let me pull up the document because I see y'all already got the. Hold up. Let me open up the systems. I had to get a new computer. You guys know. Y'all know the okay. Let me see. Okay, let me pull it up. Let's see. I'm working it. I couldn't let you guys okay. So I know some of you guys have seen this before. This is the official divorce document between Shirley Strawberry and Ernest Williams. And it says, comes now. Shirley Strawberry, petitioner, and files her complaint for divorce and other relief against Ernest L. Williams Jr., the respondent, and shows this court as follows. Okay. Petitioner is a resident of Fulton County, Georgia, and has been a resident of the state of Georgia for at least 6 months immediately prior to the filing this action. If you guys have been over here when I've gone over other complaints, you guys know that in every county, you have to show that you've been there a certain amount of time before that is the correct court for you to file in. So she is alleging that she has been a resident within the county for 6 months, which is their jurisdictional requirement. Respondent is currently, let's see, where's the respondent?
Please hold. Hello, this is a prepaid call from
Nesto.
an inmate at the Cobb County Adult Detention Facility. To accept this call, press 0. Your current balance is 20.
Okay. Did you guys miss that? The current location of the estranged, soon to be ex-husband is as follows.
Please hold. Hello, this is a prepaid call from
Nesto.
an inmate at the Cobb County Adult Detention Facility. To accept this call, press 0. Your current balance is 20.
Okay, so we know that the respondent, who is Ernest L. Williams Jr. with the A on this one, but we don't know if it's really spelled with the A or an ER. But nevertheless, he is currently incarcerated at Cobb County, Georgia. Service will be perfected in accordance with Georgia law. So we can assume that he has not been served this document as of now, but there are specific procedural guidelines in order to serve someone that is incarcerated. So based on that, it's being alleged that jurisdiction and venue are proper in this court. Petitioner and respondent were lawfully married on January 9, 2015 in Atlanta, Georgia. I know that there was some evidence that we've been able to uncover on these YouTube streets of perhaps, we know at least with Martha, that divorce, and we showed the papers, did not officially occur until 21. We also know that the first wife is alleging that they never got a divorce. So all of the marriages is just frauds. However, as I told you guys before, if you guys follow me, that does not negate the fact that she needs to get a divorce. She went before a person that is authorized to conduct these ceremonies. They signed the marriage license. And if it was filed, I never looked for it. Folks said they couldn't find it. I don't know. There are some places that only allow the people that are a part of the marriage license to get it. So I'm not sure. But she is alleging in this, and she has signed her name. So this is a verified complaint. She is attesting to everything in here as being accurate and true, that they were lawfully married. So I am going to assume that she signed some document, which is, if you've been married, you do sign a marriage certificate, that she signed that, and she's saying she was lawfully married. Again, if he was still married, if he got married now, if he did whatever, you still have to go through the processes of getting a divorce. Or, as I suggested, I think you should get it annulled, because baby, when you get it annulled, it means it never was, never happened. I don't know you. I don't have to check divorce the second time. I can just say divorce the one time, and that's it. And the reason why I would say that is because if he was in fact, which we know when she got married to him with the Martha situation and the divorce documents that we went over that didn't happen until 2021, but she said she married him in 2015, there was some type of deception going on. And fraud is the reason to try to get your marriage annulled. But that's just Pam. That's just my opinion. She obviously has gone the route she's done. She also may have had, this may be another issue as to why it may have taken a little bit to file, because she wanted to look into, or her attorney wanted to look into, all of the intricacies and all of the allegations that have been waged out here for themselves before they filed, and knew how they wanted to proceed in this matter. But nevertheless, thank you, Queen Black, for becoming a member. I appreciate 504 said thank you. You know what? Not thank you. Here come 504. Sonia drunk ass. Thank you for the thank you for the super sticker. Gigi said, hey, thank you. Hey, thank you, Gigi, for saying hey, and thank you for being a member for 1 month. Let's get back into it. It's 1,500 of you guys. Make sure you hit that like button. Por favor. See, I can speak more than one language too. I'm just saying. It has the petitioner separated on or about March 2022 and have lived in a bona fide state of separation since said date. Now, I know many of you guys probably were like, huh? March 2022? What is that all about? Because we know that Ernesto was arrested July 9th of 2022. So that is what the confusion probably is. Were y'all already separated before he got arrested? That's the question. I know that's the question. I know that's why you guys are DMing me. But I want you guys to know, and I think I went over this, maybe it was in the Jeezy case. When you have a separation or a bona fide separation, it deals more with your relations, your conjugal relations. Okay. So I pulled up, a lot of people do these cases pro se, which means they don't get attorneys. And so it's easy to find out. They define things for you and all of that on their little packet. So this was the best way that I can find. It was a packet for a separate maintenance packet from Georgia on what date of separation is. So when they tell you, they say the date, it is not essential that the husband or wife leave the marital home place. Separation can occur when one spouse moves into another room with the intent and purpose of suspending conjugal rights. The suspended conjugal rights include the company, cooperation, assistance, aid, and intimacy of the other spouse in every conjugal way. So it could have been that prior to all of this occurring, Shirley wasn't giving them none, no way. A couple of months beforehand. Just to let you guys know that doesn't necessarily, you can be in the same house and be separated. You just aren't doing it. Just to make it as plain as and simple as possible. So even before he went in July, if this date is accurate, then that's what it could be, what it would mean, that's the last time they may have done, what grown folks do. Teddy's mom said, thanks for your expertise. You are welcome. Or, there's always an alternative. Maybe it's the date was wrong. That's always the alternative. However, this can actually be the correct date because she can say she was separated because they wasn't getting it in. I don't even know where they were living or any of that stuff. Because remember, there was an eviction that occurred at the beginning of that year and all of that. So we don't know if she was living with her friends already at that time or living wherever she was living and he was trying to figure out where he was going to live or what was going on at this time. But it sounds like if this date is accurate, this was when they stopped, doing married folk things. Thank you, Shaby, for gifting 5 memberships. I appreciate that. Pax TV said didn't know where he was, so they probably lived separately. There were a lot of times where she said he didn't come home. Well, I'm not gonna say a lot of times. I don't want to seem like I'm exaggerating, but there were phone calls that we heard. I remember one of them specifically where she was saying, you need to be home more, you're barely there, that type of thing. And he was blaming some things on the pandemic, blah, blah, blah. I think the pandemic probably made Shirley recognize maybe how much he was not home because she worked. And but when the pandemic happened, you at home. Right. So if you at home and you realize this person ain't never here, maybe that was when she realized it. But she did make those type of statements and insinuations and innuendos on some of those other phone calls. You said break as in stop the bus, plane, truck, and plane. Thank you for the super chat. So I hope that answers your question, because I did see that early on and I knew people were going to So Clutching My Pearl said early phone call, she said she was supporting him as a wife would. That is fine. Well, the affidavit, L said in one of the phone calls, she's alleging she did not even make that affidavit. She said it was not true. She did not sign that affidavit. And Nesto actually talks about that phone call. Talked about that phone call with Shirley, I believe, to one of them other individuals that he talks to on the phone as well. So there's that. She's alleging she wasn't even the one to sign it. So Jay Blake says she didn't know where he was when he got arrested in July. I know she didn't know for like 2 days because he didn't have the number. Let's see. You said today is Strawberry Margarita Day. I see. Hey, friend, I didn't see you. Shout out to you. Everybody put the emojis for the bougie up in here. Thank you so much for coming over here and supporting. I appreciate you. And thank you for all of the breaking news that you gave for this here internet. Lady SP said, can she testify against him now? She could have testified against him if she wanted to anyway. Spousal immunity belongs to the spouse. So if I want to waive it, I can do so. If I don't want to waive it, I don't have to testify against. So it's not like a blanket, you can't testify against your spouse. That's not what spousal immunity is. So yes, V Brown said he told Sonia and Sonia asked, so they forged it. Yes. She said on that phone call she didn't do an affidavit and she doesn't know where that came from. So KB said, so if she didn't sign the affidavit, who did? Does the affidavit require Shirley to sign the docs in person? In theory, you are supposed to, the notary is supposed to validate and verify your identity using your license or some sort of identification. Do people notarize things without the person being present? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. But yes, in theory, that is how it's supposed to go. But there are people that have notarized documents and that person alleges that they weren't there. You said AI signed the document. Tiger Lily, really? I like your analysis though. You know that's the new thing. I hear that in court a lot now. It's like AI. I'm like, no, that was you. Miss Bucky 99 said, thanks for the explanation. Pam looks like Shirley used that date to avoid being implicated in Nesto's mess. Well, in theory, a lot of the allegations were prior to even the March 2022. It was just the charges were filed at that time. So when you look at the actual incidents of when they occurred, it was not necessarily in that time. I think she just wanted to get it over with before. Obviously, if he gets indicted, he goes before a grand jury. He gets indicted in the next 2 weeks because that's all we have left. It's about a week and a half. So he gets indicted in the next week and a half on anything. It's going to be a media frenzy. There is going to be cameras in the courtroom 9 times out of 10, not just us doing it, trying to cover the trial because he will probably ask for a speedy trial. He's talked about that before. He wants his day in court, blah, 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 blah. So because of that, we can almost assume that that's what he is going to do. And I believe as from a PR standpoint, she needed to file before this happened. But again, I'm just speculating. I am not her lawyer. I don't know the lady. I'm just saying if I were advising. That's what I would say. Like, that needs to be taken care of before all of this stuff go awry. Right now, he's unindicted. So she can still say, these are just allegations. He's unindicted. He's been sitting there for 2 years. Similar like what Sonia said. They don't have any, remember she was saying at first, they don't have anything against you. I just don't, this is crazy to me. They have nothing against you. And so if he gets indicted, then you don't have that anymore. It's still, innocent until proven guilty. But indictment starts the process of actual litigation and litigating this case. So I think I answered those questions related to what let me see. Let me see here. Because I think it was another question. Let's see here. September, somebody asked about the date. It was stamped. Let's see. I'm not sure what you're referring to. September 2023. I have to look at what you're talking about, but let me go on. There are no minor children born to the parties, of course, during the party's marriage. Petitioner is not now pregnant, which is allegation that I think you have to put in every complaint in every state. Petitioner is entitled to a divorce from respondent on the grounds that the marriage is irretrievably broken as defined in OCGA Section 19-5-3 sub 13. There being no prospects for reconciliation of the parties, and it being in the best interest of all the parties concerned that this marriage be terminated by divorce. So what happens is, in most states, I know here we have a similar tagline that you put in of just generally, you don't have to have fault. You don't have to show who was at fault. You can just say the marriage, the objects of matrimony is what we use here, have been irretrievably broken. And basically there's no way that we can reconcile. And that's all you have to put. So for instance, there's a lot of times they'll contest it. I had a situation one time where a lady was like real religious. So she didn't believe in divorce, but her husband wanted to divorce her. So she was trying to hold on to the marriage. And when it came down to the actual trial date, because yes, that sometimes they do go to trial, she asserted that she didn't want to be married. Like, she wanted to still be married to him. And she gave her reasonings as to why, because it was based on religious reasoning. So she kind of dragged it out for no reason, because regardless to whether, like, the judge will probably acknowledge that, we can respect your position, we can respect your religious stance, we can respect all of that, but you don't have to give a reasoning why, and they're entitled to divorce regardless. So even if you try to fighting it oftentimes just wastes a lot of time and money. And to me, this is why I don't like family law. Like, I say this all the time with criminal people that say, how can you represent criminal defendants? First of all, they're innocent until proven guilty. But oftentimes as a client, they are on their best behavior because their life is on the line. They're on their best behavior. So, when you deal with family law, I always say it's a lot of good people on their worst behavior. So they fight over forks and spoons, and because it's an emotional attachment. So you want to hurt the other one, and you kind of use this as a way to hurt the other one. And this ain't fair. And he trying to do this and she trying to do that. And they were supposed to drop the kid off at 2:00 and they dropped him off at 2:05. Pam, I want you to file a motion. I'm like, yeah, I can't do this. By the time Monday comes, you got 50 emails on whatever happened over the weekend. So this is not my favorite area. If someone like really, really, really just wants me to do it, because I've done it. I've tried cases and all of that in this area. If I really, really, really like you like that, then I might do it. But for the most part, I refer these cases out. But I say all that just to say this is the general reasoning why. So we weren't going to get any specifics on he cheated, he did this, he did that, he did that. Now, when it comes to marital division of properties, they can use things that you have done as fault to balance it out. So, for example, if, for instance, we know Ness don't have no money, so this is all hypothetical. He said he was broke, so that's just what it is. If hypothetically he really was like out here balling and bossing, and he had he really had these Bentleys and all these businesses and all of that stuff, and he had money, she could have said, if she could prove that he used this money or some of this money to fund or give to like a Sonia, or to give to some of these other people that are making these allegations, you're taking from the marital home for that. Yeah, you can get hit for that, like when it comes to it. So that's that. So let's go on. Further, petitioner is entitled to a total divorce. That is the divorce, and that's another Latin term. We don't use that here. In terms of law, from respondent, petitioner shows that other grounds for divorce may be present in this matter, excuse me, and deserves her right to add additional grounds for divorce as permitted by law. So she may end up amending this and adding some more stuff as to why she don't want to be married to Nesto anymore. So that's reserved for her to do that. Gigi said Nestor said he ain't gonna lay down without a fight. Well, I think he might as well just throw in a towel, because if he did have, which she probably was thinking about it for a while, but after all of this, like, kind of open and shut probably in her eyes. Gossip, rumors, and innuendo said, does the filing affect the case in any way? No, this is just a family law filing, a divorce filing. It shouldn't affect it. So hers 504 says, so her signature wasn't on the document or affidavit. This whole Nesto dictionary you guys have is like taking me out. Thank you so much, 504, for the super chat. I appreciate that. Let's get on. Let's go on. I think Sonia's going to try to blame you for Nesto's conviction. Well, that's nice. I wasn't there. Can't take. You said it's Sonia's prison number 666. Thank you for the super chat. She could, I don't know exactly how she would do that, but good luck with that. I don't know what you're talking about, Lonnie. I don't know. September 2033. I don't know what you're talking about. I saw that. I just didn't know what you were talking about. Is it possible for Ernesto to file for support from Shirley? That's interesting. Let's go on to the document and let's see. Petitioner requests that this court standing order be issued in this case. So the court has a standing order, and we'll go over that as well. That is actually what the court has drafted, not what Shirley or her attorney has drafted. Petitioner insists on strict compliance with said order and shows that in the event respondent does not comply, petitioner will seek measures to enforce said order. Let's see what that order says. Since we're talking about it, let's pull up said order. This is the court standing order, and it has on here automatic domestic standing order. This order applies to all cases which are filed in the Family Division of the Superior Court of Fulton County and shall remain in effect up through the entry of the final order in this case. This order contains provisions that regulate the parties' conduct during the pendency of this case. The parties shall not act in a manner that would violate any provision set up in this order. The party shall further be prohibited from instructing, encouraging, or causing others to act in a manner that would violate the terms and spirit of this standing order. Each party is hereby required to complete the domestic intake worksheet and a verified domestic relations affidavit, and do bring it in 30 days in the 30-day status conference. So they will have a status conference in 30 days from yesterday. All parties to this case involving a question of custody of minor children, excluding contempt or modifications, are hereby enjoined and restrained from causing or permitting. So this about minors, we're not going to talk about that. Each party is hereby enjoined and restrained from doing any act, injuring, maltreating, vilifying, threatening, molesting, or harassing the adverse party, the children of the parties, or a family member of the adverse parties. So I'm going to need you, sir, to stop talking about Sheridan, honey. And that's what we're going to need you to do. I don't know if it pertains to a dog, but she is a family member, right? Of the adverse party. That's how I take it. That's what I think. Let's go on to see what else. I'm trying to catch up with these comments. Child, you guys are moving. Jesus. Jeez, oh Pete. Okay. I don't think I could catch up, y'all. Okay, let's go. I'm just speculating, perhaps that was, why they wanted to reinforce the fact that you are enjoined and restrained from doing any act injuring, maltreating, vilifying, threatening, molesting, or harassing the adverse party, the children of the parties, or a family member of the adverse party. So y'all better keep sharing this name out your mouth. That's all I'm saying. That's what I would do. Each party to a divorce or separate maintenance action is hereby enjoined and restrained from selling, encumbering, trading, contracting to sell, or otherwise disposing or removing from Fulton County any other property belonging to the parties except in the ordinary course of business. So you cannot, because someone filed for divorce, all of a sudden start putting a bunch of items up there on Facebook Marketplace. I don't think he's really worried about that at this time. I don't think Shirley's really worried, but again, this is a standing order. But she's probably not worried because that's probably why she's not worried that he's going to destroy any property.
Hello, this is a prepaid call from Nesto. An inmate at the Cobb County Adult Detention Facility. To accept this call, press 0. Your current balance is 20.
Okay. So I don't think she's going to have to be too concerned about that. But it has each party to a divorce initial custody determination or separate maintenance action is hereby enjoined and restrained from altering, suspending, or terminating any insurance coverage in effect as of the date of the filing of this action, including but not limited to health insurance, supplemental health insurance, dental insurance, vision insurance, auto insurance, long-term disability insurance, short-term disability insurance, life insurance, and or changing any beneficiary designation of any life insurance policy. So what we've learned from these phone calls is that allegedly Nesto said he had a policy. Didn't he say he had a policy? And she was the beneficiary. You guys help me. I want all of my co-counsels to help me recall if he said he had a life insurance policy. So that would mean that he cannot change it if he does and change his beneficiary as of right now. Now, will that change in the course of this litigation? Maybe, perhaps. It's been my experience that sometimes it's actually used as almost a lien on certain things, or the policy has to stay in place until the child turns 18, or other reasons why. So there are reasons of which your soon to be ex-wife may end up entitled to that insurance policy if something happens to you. You say, yep, 2 million. That's what he said. We don't know how true it is, but that's what he alleges. That's what he alleges. Okay. Somebody said, will he have another attorney for this? They usually don't give court appointments for this. That's why they have a lot of pro se packages where you can represent yourself when it comes to divorces. So he probably, if he cannot afford an attorney, he will probably represent himself. Penny Proud said that policy is probably gone due to non-payment. Listen, we didn't see it. We just going by what said. We don't have the information to confirm or deny. We're just going off of the evidence or the information that we've been able to obtain since we've been over here investigating on YouTube. Each party to a case involving the question of custody. Okay, we don't need that because we're not talking about kids. Again, this is a standing order, so there are going to be some portions or provisions that are not applicable in this case. When a civil action is assigned to the Family Division of the Superior Court of Fulton County with an acknowledgement of service, the docket clerk will attach a copy of this order to the original petition, give or mail a copy of this order to the attorney or person filing the petition, and provide a second copy to the attorney or person filing the petition with instructions to serve the respondent. Basically, they're telling you he's going to get a copy of this as well. All parties and attorneys entering the appearance in the Family Division of the Superior Court shall abide by the rules of the Family Division as promulgated by this court. Said rules are available, and it tells you where the rules are. So even if you are pro se, everybody has to follow the rules. You don't get passes because you don't know how to e-file or you don't know how to respond when you're supposed to respond, don't know how to respond. There's an expectation that you read the step-by-step instructions and that you read the rules of Fulton County Family Court. This order shall apply to all domestic civil actions. So this is why it's a standing order, because it applies to every single action. Failure to follow a court order unless substantially justified may result in sanctions or penalties as provided by statute, rule, or authority of this court, including a finding of contempt by the court, taxation of costs or attorney fees, and or imposition of monetary or other appropriate sanctions. So you need to follow these rules, Nesto. Once he's served and this is attached. So let's get back to the complaint now that we know what the standing order is. Petitioner resides in Fulton County, Georgia. Petitioner requests the continued exclusive use and possession of her residence. So even though she got this residence while she was married, because she was married, even though he was in jail, because she was still married, it is still considered, in theory, marital property, like a marital residence, not marital property because she don't really own it, but a marital residence. And so he can try to argue if he got out on bonds, yeah, I need to go back home to my wife. Unless there is, I don't think she's on the list of a no contact. But she wants to make it clear in her petition that she requests the continued exclusive. That means by herself. So Nesto, if you had any thoughts that you were going to go to the new apartment that you talked about, Miss Shirley, I ain't playing with you, no Nesto no more, Strawberry, you may not be able to, you cannot come to the residence, okay? So even though you were talking about her mattress and all of this other stuff, that was so ridiculous, and you're in jail. She wanted to make it clear that you ain't coming here because she wants the exclusive residency of where she is now. Okay? Yes, everyone, make sure you hit that like button as you come in if you're enjoying the content. So, okay. I know some of you guys are going to have to probably go to the beginning because I think I answered some of your questions. It was only about 1,000 when I started, and now it's doubled. So I may have answered some of your questions already. So feel free to rewind and go back to the beginning. Petitioner shows that she should be allowed to retain her separate property. So whatever she has already that she's owned, brought before the marriage, whatever she wants it for herself. The parties have no joint marital assets or debts which are subject to equitable division. So she says they don't have any assets together. And therefore, she said they also don't have any debts together. So she had her credit card, he had his credit card. She had her car, he had his car. So because they don't have it joint, she is most likely going to say, you take what's in your name and I take what's in my name. You take the debt in your name, which appears, according to these allegations, may be a whole lot. You take all that on yourself, buddy. If the rental won't let him in because of pending felony charges, will the court consider that? I don't think he's going to be able to come in, period. So, but thank you so much, Sexy RN that heals and makes you fall in love. Goodness, that's a title. Thank you for the super chat. Can you use Dre voice on the hit that like button?
And another thing you notice, the first thing they say, make sure you guys hit that like and the subscribe button. That's what it's all about. After they get them dogging you out, before they dog you out, that's the first thing they say. If you like this video, make sure you hit.
You have 1 minute remaining.
Can they put spousal support on his books? That's an interesting question, but you can ask for, I mean, nothing can stop you from asking. You can ask for what you want to ask for. Now, whether you're going to get it or not, I think that's when she will probably delve into all of the issues, getting evicted, all the things we went over to try to stop that from happening. But can he ask? There's nothing stopping him from asking for what he wants to ask. But will he get it? Probably not. Because if I was an attorney, I'd be fighting tooth and nail and up all night long, making sure that won't happen. But you can ask for what you want to ask. I mean, all they can say is no, right? Well, they said a contested divorce because if they think that it's not amicable, like we talked about it and we both said we're going to both get a divorce. And we cool with it and you cool with it. He may make it uncontested, but right now I don't think it probably wasn't even conversation. So that's probably, I don't know how they do it there because we don't put whether it's contested or uncontested. We just go through the flow. And we usually know by the answer if they're going to fight on certain issues. But there's been a lot of people that I've done as well who they both want to get a divorce. So they got a divorce and went out to eat when it was signed. I mean, it was like, cool. But those are the rarities. Mostly, even those people don't want to be with you anymore for some strange and odd reason. When it comes to these type of cases, they want to do whatever they can to like hurt it's like, I don't like you anymore. I don't really want to see you, but I'm going to file motions every week, even though they might be stupid, and I got to see you in court. It's like I can't wrap my mind around it. That's why I don't really do this, because it doesn't make, like, if I want to be done with you, yeah, it might hurt. Let me cry and scream at home. Let me go see my therapist, but let me get this over with, because it seems like it's like a slow bleed when you do this, when you decide to fight every little thing and all of that, and you got to go to court and you spend a lot of money too. When it's contested, for real contested, you spend a lot of money with it. So I don't know. He said on the phone calls and I would pull him. If this what she want, that's fine. I just let it go. So let it go then, buddy. That's what I would use. You said it's another form of abuse. Yes, I agree. I definitely agree with that. Sunshine Black said, I went out to lunch with both my exes after my divorce. Girl. Yeah, I've heard that. It's like, yeah. So yeah. I don't know if that was just something. We're assuming that. We don't even know if he was given a courtesy copy if they was able to contact him to see if he was going to contest, or if that's just a default. Let's just say he contested instead of saying that it's uncontested, you know? Lexi, the law nurse, said, I have such a better relationship with my ex now that we are divorced. That happens a lot. No need to hold on to it didn't work. A lot of times you get in relationships when you're young. So once you grow up, you grow out of it. Or you had expectations younger that they weren't able to comply with anyway. Okay, let's get on here because we could talk about that for a long time. Petitioner shows that each party should be responsible for his or her own individual debt, if any. So she wants things that's in her name for her to be responsible for. Things that's in his name, he be responsible for. Respondent is hereby on notice that the law of Georgia, OCGA section 19-6-1E, provides as follows: pending final determination by the court of the right of either party to alimony, neither party shall make any substantial change in the assets of the party's estate except in the course of ordinary business affairs and except for bona fide transfer for value. Further, petitioner shows that the law of Georgia, OCGA section 19-5-7, provides as follows with regard to the transferring or disposition of property. After a petition for divorce has been filed, no transfer of property by either party except a bona fide transfer and payment of pre-existing debt shall pass title so as to avoid the vesting thereof according to the final verdict of the jury in the case. So you can't start disposing and getting rid of property, as what was said in those the standing order that we went over. Petitioner insists that respondent comply with the foregoing statutes in all respect, and respondent is hereby put on notice of not only the laws of the state of Georgia, but also petitioner's intent to insist on full and absolute compliance of same by the respondent. So wherefore, this is what she's demanding: that process and summons issue as provided by law, so that the court issues a summons so that she can go ahead and get them served, that respondent be served with a copy of petitioner's complaint, that she be granted a total divorce from respondent, that is to say a divorce as provided by law. I can't say that this court standing order issue, that petitioner be allowed the continued exclusive use and possession of the marital residence, that petitioner be allowed to retain her separate property, that each party should be responsible for his or her own individual debt, and that she have such other equitable aid and relief as the court deems right and proper. And this was signed by the attorney on April 17th, which was yesterday. And it's a verified complaint, which means that all the information in there, as I said, even that data separation that we talked about in the beginning, Shirley is attesting that it is true. Petitioner Shirley Strawberry verifies that the facts contained in her complaint for divorce and other relief are true and correct to the best of her personal knowledge. And she signed this on April 12th of 2024. So that is the divorce. New York said he won't contest. I don't think he will either. Mina Hill said, did Shirley ever visit him in jail? I think if she did, we probably would have seen that at phone calls from prison. You guys, make sure you guys subscribe over there if you haven't done so already. Lady Diamond said, thank you, Pam. Thank you so much for the super chat. I hope that this helps and that I answered your questions to the best of my ability. Again, I am not giving legal advice and I am not the attorney on this case. I can only tell you from looking up their laws and from my personal experience and knowledge. That is it. Olivia Nope said he ain't got no money to contest anyway. And you are probably right. Sorry, guys. I really don't know what happened. Well, my internet just went out, so I had to put it on my little phone or whatever. I apologize. That was a little ghetto. I was going to get off of here anyway, but my internet was just like, I don't know. So I just put it on my little hotspot. Can you guys hear me now? Can you hear me now? Let me know. Do you think that what little money Shirley got she's hiding it somewhere? You know what I think is going to be interesting? I think what is going to be interesting is that Shirley just received that big payout. And allegedly, I don't know, I'm not in her documents or anything, but allegedly she got the big payout. So will he try to come after that big payout and say he's deserving of it? This is when I think she about to tell us what really happened if he actually does. So I don't think he'll do that. Because I think then she'll be forced to really say what was going on if he tries to say, well, she's making $1 million a year and I don't have any income. Oh, that would be foul though, if he did that. Oh, that would be so foul. But I've seen things like that happen, so I wouldn't be shocked, to be honest. But she said she was already separated, and that's another thing. Saying you were not legally, but you were in a bona fide state of separation even before she got this offer and acceptance of this contract. That may be a part of it too. Why she wanted to make sure that date of separation was at a certain time. Thank you, GC, for gifting 5 memberships. I appreciate that. Nasty, narcissistic Nesto is his name. Royal Heritage said, judging from the pictures, well, it's alleged. We haven't seen the pictures. I can see side hen in his ear pushing him to get after her money. That would be so foul, though. Like, oh, you think we have a field day on this internet before? Wendy Williams got burned. That's true. But Wendy Williams also included her husband in a lot of her affairs. That's the same thing that happened with Mary J. Blige. When you get these husbands that want to be managers or want to be producers and wannabes, whatever, and you are a star in your own right, and you put them in to be on payroll for you and to talk, that means when you break up, their livelihood was contingent on you. So that's how you get caught up in the game. And it happens a lot where people will have their spouse be on board as a part of their team, especially in the celebrity world. I don't know what it is. Like they need validation. They want them to feel like they just as special. That even though I'm the star, you just as special or something. I don't know what that's about, but it does come back to burn you at the end when you do that. All of their money is pretty much contingent on you from an employment standpoint. Then you have from a marital standpoint, you are the primary breadwinner. So yes, you will probably pay child support if that spousal support if that happens. He has no bar. There's no limit how he'll go. The Lexi, I think the separation was filed in September. Okay. It may have been. I'm just going on the date that it was filed, and the data separation that they put in here says March of 2022. And again, it may have been a wrong date on there, or it may have been, again, I explained to you guys what bona fide separation means. And I think we look at separation in a different manner because she was still talking to him and all of that. So maybe it was wrong, because we do know around March or April, that was when she wasn't really picking up the phone with him and all of that during that time. And that's when the video that we played in the beginning, when that happened. Let me put that up.
Did you call Shirley and see what's going on with her? She's not picking that phone up. I asked her to text, but something must be wrong with her. Hear me? Yeah. Okay. You good? Yeah, I'm good. You said you talked to her yesterday. I don't know why she ain't picking the phone up. Yeah, I don't know what she got going on. She thought she was outside yesterday when she called. Do I need to add some money on this phone? Yeah. Just send me the old girl. She'll set it up for you. I don't know why she be acting cheap as hell. Man, come on now. What you mean, come on now? I sent her the money. Like, oh, should be weird. Okay, sir. Yeah, just check on, see what's going on. Till I've been trying to text you and text her back or call. So I've been calling yesterday. She ain't answered the phone. I called today. She ain't answered. So something ain't right. She ain't got a phone or something.
So according to our co-host today, she wasn't answering the phone around March-ish is when she stopped answering the phone like that. She had a couple of phone calls. We heard the fed up phone call, which was a couple of months after March of 2023. So that may have been a typo, or it could have really been that she was in a bona fide state of separation in March of 2022. But she verified that date with her signature. So, but mistakes can happen as well. Danny P said, I don't feel he should get anything. Sorry, not sorry. I think a lot of people feel the way that you do. Love to shop 1212 said that Sonya forged it. She should sue that bony tail heifer. I don't think she did, because I think Sonya was like, so somebody forged it. Like, she was acting surprised as well. But sure, I don't know. The way this stuff unfolds, we never know what is what. I don't let no man into my financial affairs. That's from Flawless. Flawless says she don't let no man into her financial affairs. She don't want these type of problems where they start asking for spousal support and things of that nature. I'm surprised she didn't get a prenup though. That's what's very y'all just like. But I guess because he came across like he had the money. And at that time, we know she had some issues financially with taxes and things, like she filed bankruptcy and all of that. So maybe that's why she felt like she had nothing in order to give. But you got to be careful when you're a celebrity that you just do that anyway. Because at any moment, you may get that $1 million contract. So maybe that's the reason why she didn't do it. But this does not, one thing that is missing that we usually see with a lot of these type of high profile or medium profile, I don't know what to call this, cases, is that there's prenups, and this document does not mention a prenup agreement. So I'm sure, the phone call after he gets this, or after today when Sonya tell him, if he doesn't know yet, like if he hasn't been served it, the phone call that's going to occur after this one, that's going to be lit. It's going to be lit. She run it too. Thank you for the super chat. You said was the date of September 2023 Shirley's initial filing. I don't know. This is a 2024 case though. So I would have to look into that to see. Maybe that came up on somebody else's live. I just got the documents that were recently filed 2 days ago, which was the actual complaint for divorce. No, March 2022, he hadn't been arrested yet. He got arrested July 2022, but they were evicted and homeless. Right. I agree with you. I said that in the beginning, that July 2022 was when he was arrested. And I know by March-ish, that's when we were going over those eviction documents, when because was it when a lot of the stuff was happening where he was still trying to keep the house or get Erica, I guess, allegedly to be the lawyer and all of that. Sonya's Edge said, Pam, can you explain automatic domestic standing order? That means that if you file a domestic case, which is what this is, a divorce within this jurisdiction in Fulton County, this is an automatic order. So just know that it's a part of your case. You have to abide by this order upon the filing of this. Everybody has to abide by it. It's not, so typically here we don't have automatic orders. So there are certain things of which, for instance, if you want like we say like maintain the status quo. So I will file a motion called motion to maintain the status quo. And it would basically say a lot of the things that's in this standing order that we saw, that you can't dispose of property. You can't change bank accounts. You can't go sell stuff. If you were paying all of the bills before, you got to pay them all now. So because I filed for divorce and I'm a homemaker, because there are some situations where, like, I had a case where it was domestic violence. So the guy had to leave the house and he had to get a whole nother place. But because he was the breadwinner and she was a stay-at-home mom, he still had to maintain everything in that house, maintain the status quo. So a lot of times we have to file motions for this to be into effect, and then the judge will sign it. Sometimes you can do an ex parte, which is one-sided. That's usually how I do it, and the judge will sign them, but it's not a standing order within our county. Here, this is a standing order of everything that's in there. That's going to be an automatic. You don't have to file a motion for it. This is what it is. So that's what a standing order is. Let's see. The automatic standing order was e-filed September 21st, 2023. The amended automatic standing order was e-filed. Well, the standing order is from the court. That's what you're referring to? That is from the actual Fulton County. That is their order. That is not an order that was drafted by Shirley's attorney. This is what becomes a part of every case. So this wasn't like, if I filed a motion in September of 2023 and put it in there, no, this is literally an order that became a standing order in September of 23. So that's when this order became effect in the court for all of the cases that are filed, if that makes sense. I hope I make sense. So I didn't know that's what you were referring to. I apologize. I didn't understand what you were saying. Thank you so much, Lexi the Law Nerd, for the super chat. I appreciate that. Yes, Mio Show, they did get evicted around March 2022. I got you. Thank you, Florida Bird. Thank you guys because I was all confused. Okay. Thank you guys so much. And I hope that I answered your question. And thank you for your support, the super chat. I appreciate that. Yeah, Jay Blake said her finances were jacked at the time. Yes, that's my understanding as well. Letitia said, I'm not surprised she didn't get a prenup. I don't know. There are some people that do prenups. I had somebody that did a prenup and they didn't have money, but they had faith in what their future looked like. And it worked out for them very well because they did end up getting a multi-million-dollar situation, and the marriage didn't work out and they didn't have to give them anything. And they was both broke when it started. So in today's video visit, Nestor was trying to give Sonia Shirley. Thank you so much I have to watch today's video. I am behind because I've been working, so I do have to catch up on it, but thank you so much. I appreciate that information. So you said it's another video that I need to catch up on. I just feel like I am never going to catch up. Jeez. Take a couple days off over here on YouTube and you're just behind. Greer Jones, I answered that question in the beginning. If Nestor was still married to Martha, how does that affect his divorce case? It does not stop you from having to still get a divorce or an annulment because she went before and did all the legal processes of a marriage. Solo Aquarius said, Pam, that's September date that people asking about. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, Solo Aquarius, for the $10 super chat. Speak Less gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much for expanding our legal community. Bonnie Tail is too busy over here in the chat. Hey, Sonia, if you over here in the chat. Y'all is so nosy. Talking about, are they really married? Where is the marriage license? Wasn't he still married? Well, Shirley did a verified complaint and she said they were lawfully married. Okay, that's what she said. So according to her, she thought she was married. Now, whether there was fraud involved or something like that, that is another question. So, oh, a Shirley hairstyle. YouTube is messing with me. Thank you, Sonia's drunk ass. Thank you again for the super chat too. If he gave Sonia power of attorney, can this affect anything? No, the power of attorney, from what I heard, of course I didn't see it, was just limited to her getting some specific documents. That was it. So it wasn't like power of attorney to sign legal documents or to act as his advocate and do all his business and financial business and all of that. That's not the type that was signed, from my understanding. Again, I haven't seen it. I just heard what she was trying to get. She said it was a limited power of attorney. C.A. Williams said, "Yay, Shirley. I'm so happy for her healing journey." Yes, me too. And I'm thankful for the super chat. I appreciate you. Okay. Nobody's surprised she didn't get a prenup. Okay. I wouldn't be surprised if Steve said enough is enough and hired her an attorney. She was fed up but hesitant and still talking to his people. Victor Vale, thank you so much for the super chat. And you might be right, because we all know that even Nesto knew if Steve said us or him, then him was gonna be gone. He even knew that. So you may be right. So sorry if you answer this. Can SS sue Sonia? Sue Sonia for what? Alienation of affection. Those type of things are like in North Carolina. I don't think they still have that in Georgia. Because that's what happened to like Fantasia. Because North Carolina, they still got those type of laws. That's why PI work is very high volume in North Carolina, because they still have it where you can sue whoever the person cheated on. You can sue them as well. The person, because they knew that you were married. So you can sue the actual other woman or the other man. There are very few states that still have those on the book, but that's why family law is a very high volumed. Divorces is a very high volume case in like North Carolina. Deanna, thank you. I have to acknowledge my Cash App, since I appreciate all of the love and welcoming me back to these YouTube streets before my phone actually dies. Oh, my phone is about to die. Let me hurry up. Jesus. Thank you, Miss Joanna and Laversa, Jaquai, Lakeisha, and Devanya. Thank you so much. And I'm sorry if I misspelled your name. Thank you so much for the Cash Apps. All right, y'all. I'm trying to see. I don't see. Most of the questions are the same, so you might want to catch the replay. You said, imagine Sonya being in charge of pulling the plug. That's from A Legally Blind. Oh, gosh. The truckerette said, well, Shirley should join the other victims because he definitely scammed her to pay those high attorney bills. Sonya used that POA and got his phone information and bank info. She is trying to prove his whereabouts in 2019 for the SA case. Okay. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Yeah, I know it was limited. That's all I know now. What the limitations entailed, I don't know. But according to the phone calls, it was a limited POA. So, yeah. Erica has Shirley's marriage. You know what? All right. On that note, y'all is... Thank you guys so much for all of your support. On your way out, make sure you hit that like button. I hope you guys enjoyed the live. I hope that it clarified anything that you guys had a question on from the legal realm. Again, I know that Grown Woman Vibes and Bougie went over this. Shout out to them. If you haven't subscribed to them, I think we all pretty much got the same people. But if you haven't done so already, go over there and subscribe. Also, phone calls from prison. A lot of the information we have has come from them. Shay puts in the work, she edits and all of that. I still got every single call that I got initially on CD. On CD, haven't looked at not nan call because it just looked like too much work. So shout out to Shay and all the work that she does and for allowing us to utilize her phone calls because she doesn't have to, but she shares it. And I hope you guys are enjoying getting all the different perspective from all of the different YouTubers.
And another thing you notice, the first thing they say, make sure you guys hit that like and the subscribe button. That's what it's all about. After they get them dogging you out, before they dog you out, that's the first thing they say. If you like this video, make sure you hit.
You have 1 minute remaining.
Thank you again to all the super chats, super stickers. Welcome to all the new members. Hopefully I got everybody and I did not leave anybody out. If you did, I apologize. Charge it to my head and not my heart. But until next time, I do have one call that I wanted to go over. I don't know if it'll be tonight or it will be tomorrow. If it's not tonight, it will definitely be tomorrow that I am going to go over a call that I thought was very interesting from a week ago. So I'm sure somebody else has went over it, but I just have a different perspective. But again, thank you guys so much for watching, supporting, all of the financial support that you don't have to do. I recognize that, but I appreciate it. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe on your way out, describe on your way out, as Dre has said. And I'm going to holler at you guys next time.